Thank you, Michael. Another competitive World Cup qualifier match. Fantastic crowd in Columbus, fantastic conditions, field conditions, and weather was optimal for us tonight. What I'd say is that, first of all, it's great to get a shutout, another shutout in World Cup qualifying, which is really important. I was also really pleased with the effort of Anthony Robinson. I thought he did a good job, was busy all night. Timmy Weah was very active, stretching their back line all night. And I really like the contribution of Jesus Ferreira, who set up a number of plays and also had a couple of opportunities for himself. Looking at some things we could have done better, I think we lacked connection in our pressing. There was too often that there was too much space between our lines and we weren't able to make that next play on the pass when pressure was broken. And I think that the ambition to play forward and get behind them was missing for the 90 minutes. We had it in spurts, but overall, I think we could have done that much better. The big picture of this game is we're still in very good position in World Cup qualifying. The 3 points were vital at home, and we achieved that. So happy. Now it's time to regroup and come up with a plan to attack Canada. So overall, happy with Christian's effort in the game. I think the effectiveness could have been more, as you mentioned. And looking at that moment in the game, looking at where we thought the game was headed, we wanted to get him off and get some fresh legs in. We put Brendan in, a guy who we know can repeat high-speed runs and really is relentless attacking the back line. So we thought it was a sub that was going to give us some help. Regarding Christian, it's just about him finding his top form and really finding ways to get him in front of goal, because that's where he really shines. When he's in front of the penalty box is when he does his best work. Well, I think as you mentioned, Paul, he had enough chances to score a couple goals. So that's the most important thing. If he didn't have any chances in the game, I would have been concerned. But he did have chances. And I think it's just a matter of him being able to finish those off. Regarding his link-up play, I thought it was excellent. A number of times he was setting players up as we expected him to do. So overall, although we might try to judge number 9s by their goal production, I still think he had a solid performance.
Next will be Drake Hills from the Tennessean.
Yeah, that's a good observation. And I think it starts with the positioning. It's important to have a winger high on their line, ready to stretch their back line. It gives us space in our attack. And on the right side, we had that. We had Timmy in position the entire time to get behind them. We had Serginho joining, and we had Weston helping out on that side. On the other side of the field, at times, Christian was too low. That meant Anthony was even lower, and it was hard to really get any forward momentum to start producing combinations, especially to stretch them behind. So it wasn't perfect, but I think the goal came from the left side. I also think the second half we changed. We had a lot more success on the left side of the field. So it was in the end happy with that we were able to get that left side back on track. We're going to have to assess everyone tomorrow and see where they're at and then make decisions on the lineup for Canada. But regarding Weston, he seemed fine. Maybe he took a bruise or something, but we don't expect it to be anything major. I have spoken to medical and nothing came up. I was referring to the lack of connection in our pressing. I didn't think our midfield line was connected enough to our forward line as we're pressing. So that's something that can improve. I think as we get players closer together in terms of distance-wise, we'll be able to make those passes and maintain those connections offensively. At times in the first half, the distances between our midfielders was too far apart, and the team was disconnected a little bit. We were building with 4 players and 6 players were high, so we made that adjustment at halftime. He was good tonight. I think that his positioning defensively was very good. His build-up play was good. And if I had to pick on one thing, it might have been anticipating balls in front of the attacker and being able to get in front of him. He fouled the number a couple times. But overall, I've been really impressed with Chris and his development. We've been watching all his games, but particularly his game last week against Dortmund, where he's going up against Holland, and it's not an issue for him. He's able to match him with his strength and his speed. And we've seen a really sharp learning curve from him in this last couple months.
Next will be Ivis Galarcep.
We adjusted their positioning. I mentioned about their connection, their spacing in the first half was off. So we adjusted that a little, got them a little bit closer together, got them a little lower that to connect with the center backs. And then regarding Anthony Robinson, you know, if a guy scores like that and chooses to do that, who am I to ban that? That's an amazing physical feat. Me and you couldn't do that, Ibis. So congratulations to him for even being able to do that. I think it's really impressive. But in all seriousness, Anthony Robinson was the coach's man of the match tonight, just for his relentless attacking and getting that goal. That was really important for our team. It's a mindset. He knows that he needs to be relentless on the field. He needs to attack and defend. It's not one or the other. It's both. And he understands that. So he gets forward, and his fitness is good enough to be able to get back. And as I mentioned, when he's forward, hopefully the midfielders are there to create that net that prevents the opponent from getting out, and he can ease his way back. But he was good on both sides of the ball. In the first half, a couple issues on his side with guys getting behind him, but he corrected that. And in the second half, he played really well. He's done a great job with them. You know, they have a group that they've been working with. They're young. I think we're still probably younger than them by a good margin, but they are a young team, and I have a lot of respect for what Hugo's done with that group. You know, former national team player, is a guy that we all looked up to, and any soccer player around my age looked up to Hugo Perez, and he's doing a fantastic job with El Salvador. One thing I mentioned before the game is how they were going to compete in this game, and a lot of that has to do with the coach's mentality and the mindset that he creates for the players. So we're pulling for them. We hope they win all 5 of their games. We'd love to see that, and he's done a good job. Well, first of all, I think it's just a great story. And I hope the public's aware of this ascent of Matt Turner, because it's an incredible story. He went to Fairfield College, undrafted out of college, and now he's playing with the national team, and he's headed to Arsenal. It's just an amazing story. And it's all down to him and his work ethic and his belief in himself and his never give up attitude. It's a great story. And Matt is a great guy, great teammate, and we're lucky to have him. But tonight was an example where he did everything he had to do. He was calm in all situations, wasn't tested much, but was there when we needed him. And he looked like a player that's going to Arsenal for sure.
Ya que nos encontraste, no nos pierdas. Suscríbete a nuestro canal de YouTube de Telemundo Deportes.